Can't they just get Putin on fucking FaceTime and go, hey, did you do that?
Was that you, my boy?
He's like, no.
No, I saw you did it.
All we need is body language experts, and then we're good.
And in another epic moment where JK News most likely actually reports the news on time.
Whoa.
Hey, let's go.
And if we're not on time, edit this part out.
But also, the news is very frightening and scary, and we might actually be dead by the time you see this.
Is this about the bear that was playing piano that you sent us last week? That was a hot topic. We didn't talk about.
We're gonna do that on Steve Day.
Yeah, baby.
I like breaking news.
Play chopsticks.
Yeah. I like that story was also super old.
Hot topic.
You guys like, hey, you guys should cover this.
You guys should check this one out. Yeah.
To make this either extra dramatic or just sound dumb, me and Steve are gonna read one word at a time together.
Okay, ready?
You first.
Russian.
Missiles.
Cross.
Into.
NATO.
Member.
Poland.
Kill.
2.
Senior.
U.S.
Intelligence.
This is the one you want to say that.
I know.
I knew it was a bad idea. That's why I said or really stupid.
Does this start World War III?
Maybe, dude.
It's really.
Just in case you didn't understand, Asian, Russian missiles cross into NATO member Poland. Into NATO member Poland. It's really.
It always starts with Poland!
Always starts with Poland.
It always starts with Poland!
Russian missiles kill 2, says a senior U.S. intelligence official.
So aren't they supposed to now have a war? Isn't that what happens?
Yo, you just slapped my homie. Like,
Yeah.
it's going down now.
But they won't, huh?
So the Polish government hasn't confirmed this yet. That's kind of the.
So if they have
But one spokesperson told the publication that top leaders were holding an emergency meeting over the crisis situation.
But it's almost Christmas. They need to fucking chill,
They
dude.
need to do this in the 2023, bro.
When should they do it, Joe?
After Easter?
After Easter. Okay.
After the rapture.
Can we wear white pants then or no?
So 2 people were reportedly killed after a projectile struck an area where grain was drying in the village of
Dude, so it hit a straight up village.
near the Ukrainian border.
Yeah, but why are U.S. officials there?
No, not U.S. officials. A U.S. intelligence official said this.
Yeah.
You thought 2 U.S. officials died?
In Poland.
U.S.
Ryan Greene.
He thought two U.S. officials were launched. You thought? Is that what you thought?
Have you ever had the dream that you would that you would
Yo, that's crazy if they hit a fucking grain silo and 2 U.S. officials come running out. Like, oh shit, they were in there?
Oh man.
In Poland. Interesting.
Why are they trying to blow up some bread?
Grain.
So is it like
ingredients.
in the situation where this happens and then the launcher says, oh, that was an accident, it was a misfire, would that still be the same result of like, we're going to war?
That or maybe like hopefully it was one of those anti-missile things and it hit and then it just actually landed here maybe.
You think for that they'll be like interference? They're like, you know what? We fucked up. Yeah, we fucked up.
That's yeah.
Interference.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, that's a tough one.
I recently saw this shit where there was actually a real incident that was almost like World War III, Cold War, World War III with nuclear war. And everyone thinks it was Cuba and all that shit, but they're like, the real one happened when a U.S. Boat or sub was following this like Russian one. And then they thought that shit was supposed to happen and they were supposed to shoot each other. And that would have started like Russia versus the U.S. direct conflict. But then the Russian side, they had a vote, and one dude, it had to be a unanimous vote. There were like 3 captains or whatever. And one captain was like, no, I don't think we should shoot back or we shouldn't do it. And then so the US Army also didn't have radio, and they didn't have radio to Russia. So they had to make a decision. And if these 2 submarines fought, we all would have been like in World War III.
Yo, can we get them some radios? Yeah. My nieces and nephews have radios.
They didn't have radios. But then they made the right decision because the one Russian officer that was like, nah, I don't think we should shoot back.
That's the takeaway for that story. Can we get him some radios?
They were underwater. They had no reception.
I'll buy them. I'll buy the fucking walkie-talkies. I'm happy to do it.
The Pentagon.
They were out of range, you know.
Pentagon said that they're taking all reports seriously and looking into them. Quote, right now we are aware of the press reporting on this and we have no information at this time. By the way, we're the press.
Hey, that's pretty cool.
And we have no information at this time to corroborate those reports. Pentagon Press Secretary Brig General Pat Ryder said, I don't want to speculate or get into hypotheticals when it comes to our security commitments.
Oh, so there's a chance that this is incorrect completely?
I think there's always going to be speculation or anything like that until like officials officially say something
If you don't want to speculate, why are you saying it's a Russian missile? If you don't know.
We don't want to speculate, but we.
Yeah, that's
Oh, it's definitely Russian.
that's kind of what I always felt was odd because I always imagined that World War III would kind of start like a snap. Like when the missiles hitting a NATO member, I was like, I thought before we knew it, the shit would start. I didn't know it would be like, we're analyzing the data and we're gonna see if this is.
Yeah.
And everybody in the fucking public gets to actually like wait for it and like hear everything word by word, right?
I guess it's not really like that.
Or maybe that's the whole point. To be like, we're analyzing everything we can make, but really like everybody in the bagon's already gearing up.
That's true. I didn't think of that. Yeah, it could be that too.
Like everyone stay calm kind of shit.
Right. Just so, but then in the meantime, the shit's flying through the air.
If we start seeing like a bunch of military planes flying through the air, I'll start to shit myself for sure.
The Pentagon press sec did say, quote, we've been crystal clear that we will defend every inch of NATO territory in reference to Article 5. Russia's Ministry of Defense denied the incident, so maybe that's also part of it,
I don't know whose missiles those are.
calling the reports a, quote, deliberate provocation in order to escalate the situation. So,
I think it's pretty escalated, guys.
Yeah,
Blowing up a lot of
it's
things.
past that point.
Pretty heightened already.
well, this is like two people in a fight in the circle, and all the friends are around waiting to jump in.
Yeah.
Right, and then like like you said, somebody just fucking accidentally swings somebody. Yeah. Wait! That was I didn't mean to hit your gang member, buddy.
Like, whoa, I have alliance with these guys, dude, and that's how fucking World War I and II started, bro.
Yeah.
But
You know, I like in a way, like I don't want this to happen, but I am interested on how today's young generation would react to a draft.
Hey, I'm signing up, brother. I'm a patriot.
I feel like on both sides, it'll just be like, I don't want to do it. Because you heard about the Russian soldiers? They didn't know that there was a war going on, and then they're like, oh shit. And then they just was like, I surrender.
the guys on the Eastern Front,
Yeah, when they first started, they're like, I thought it was a military
I thought it was
exercise.
exercises.
Yeah. And then when dudes were shooting at them, they're like, what the fuck? And then they deserted.
They thought they were like in an X-Men danger room. Like, this is real?
I will say I remember having the feeling. Granted, I was only 16 at the time, but when 2001 happened, September 11th, I do remember if there was a draft, I probably would have signed up. I just remember that feeling.
I remember filling out my draft card when I was 18 and being like, this shit's real because it was in that zone. Like, we were going to war with Iraq when I turned 18. So it was like, fuck, this is real shit.
Damn. I wanted to join the military once.
I can see, or maybe I've just been watching way too many Hollywood films, but the idea of like, starting some shit in some undercover way in order to get like people at war, right? Like the propaganda, or like maybe it wasn't Russia, maybe it was somebody else who was willing to do something and sacrifice something in order to get bigger players in, right?
Uh-huh.
Like, would you put it past, hypothetically, would you put it past like Ukraine even? You know what I mean? To be like, oh dude, well if we send this missile into NATO territory and we call it Russian, then maybe people will come out and help us.
Maybe
you know
we'll get military backing.
Yeah,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? I'm not, again, hypothetically. I'm not saying that, but like we've seen enough fucked up movies and stuff, and we've also seen those different types of conspiracies where it's like same thing. If something's like an inside job in order to start something else, it's like
Yeah, because historically that's happened.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so even with Russia right now saying things like, what did they say officially? No strikes were made against targets near the Ukrainian-Polish state border by Russian means of destruction. Russia officially said in a statement. It's like, who do you believe? Sometimes doesn't matter. because the outcome matters. Yeah.
Is it very difficult to trace the origin of a missile?
You're asking the wrong room, brother.
So then, when the missile blows up, you can't find
The laundry direction tag is gone.
Yeah.
The barcode's blowed up.
Made in Russia.
The serial number scratched off.
So you don't know where it came from.
It's like this was made in China.
What the?
It sucks up its own smoke as it
Yeah.
flies.
Well, that was probably one of the most interesting parts about the 9/11 attacks for me is they found all their passports like in a New York street of like the hijackers. They were finding like the hijackers' passports like intact.
Just littered.
It's like, yeah, we found them.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, we got some passports over here. It's kind of like,
Oh, look at what we found.
Is that really what they said? They just straight up found it on the top of the rubble?
I'm just saying, like, yeah, that happened, but it's just a hell of a coincidence.
Passport sniffing dogs, though.
Passport sniffing dogs.
The cute little beagle.
They found hundreds of passports there.
Yeah, they were finding out passports everywhere.
Well, that's another thing about the pipe that they blew up, right?
Oh, the
yeah,
pipeline,
the one
yeah.
that goes from Russia to England or wherever.
That Russia blew up. Cheers.
Yeah. But according to Russia, that England blew up.
And according to Jake Tran,
Yeah.
he had a whole thing about that too. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
National Security Council spokesperson Adrian Watson took to Twitter to confirm that the White House is, quote, working with the Polish government to gather more information. We cannot confirm the reports or any of the details at this time. We will determine what happened and what the appropriate next steps would be.
Can't they just get Putin on fucking FaceTime and go, hey, did you do that?
Was that you, my boy?
He's like, no.
Oh, I saw you did it.
All we need is body language experts, and then we're good. Those guys, they're always right.
They're always right.
They're
dude.
100% correct.
And they can work from home. You know, because they're always on Zoom, dude.
They're like LA Noir. Just fucking watch the face.
I just don't want war to happen because, like, why?
I say they get Putin on a FaceTime. They have two of the body language experts from YouTube. Look at it, and if they say that he looks guilty, then yeah, we go World War III.
Or just get him on an Instagram truth filter where it like calculates if you're lying.
What really happens once so somebody somewhere in NATO gets bombed or whatever, everybody as a part of NATO has to jump in.
That's what I thought, but I feel like that's not a thing.
Or is it one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's the pact, and then it's like, what actually happened? It's like, oh, it was a grain, only 2 people died, and people are like, we don't really want to go to war.
I feel like modern warfare isn't the way that we used to think that it would be.
No, it's PS5 now.
Been happening, and it's very much commercial and like industrial, and that's why everything's fucked.
Well, post 9/11, wasn't NATO involved with like the campaigns in Afghanistan and Iraq and all that shit?
There were NATO nations, but not all of them.
No.
Like the UK joined.
Maybe it's more like that. Maybe it's more selective.
Yeah, I
Like
feel
some
like they're...
some of them didn't, but then I don't think it's because they got attacked on their soil. I guess you could call 9/11 that, but then like
Yeah.
Dude, I remember Bush being like, we got a coalition of a lot of member countries. And then you look it up and it's like France sent like 14 dudes.
yeah, that's true, dude.
Fucking shit made me laugh.
Why even bother?
It's like, what a coalition, dude.
Thanks, man.
Those are 14 brave Frenchmen. Over that.
Yeah, they're super soldiers, dude.